Hi Amanda, my name's Jack. I thought I'd just go through your work a little bit. I think it looks great. The main thing that grabs my attention, and everyone's sick to hear of this, is that about spacing and arcs in particular. So if you don't mind, I just want to have a quick look at one little thing which has drawn my attention, which is this little arc over the top here. Now the main thing that I find interesting about here is, first of all, this relationship between your hand and your forearm. I think that what you want to be doing a lot of is looking at the relationship between your wrist and your forearm. It's really hard to twist your wrist as much as it's happening with the rig. It's really easy to do with a rig, but in reality, if you want things to look right, you get to about maybe 120 degrees and then things start to hurt. It's really pushing it. It's only if you're really pushing against a hard wall that you get that. If you're holding an object, your natural tendency is to maybe if the object's holding your wrist down or if it's holding it back, but I think if it's resting there, you might have a little bit of a bend, but nowhere near as much as you've got at the moment. So that's the first thing, and I think I was just going through your work in my own time. This sort of straight bent line you got there, it might work for a few frames, but I think it is perhaps a little bit overdone. So the main thing that caught my attention was perhaps the way in which you execute this arc with the baseball bat. And the baseball bat, or any object that you hold in your hand, should really be considered an extension of the anatomy of your character. So if you're moving something around and you're planning an arc, and you've worked your arc out very well for, say for example, for any body part, the body part at the end, if you're doing something with your finger, the most important thing to track the direction of is your finger. Whereas with yours, you've got a really great big baseball bat, so you want to be able to trace that one. So probably what I would do is I would take it into Photoshop. You can export this as a QuickTime or an AVI depending on where you are, and then import this as a video layer, and then create a layer and draw over the top and just plan out some kind of arc. Or you can draw it directly into Maya as you wish. But the main thing you want to do is to look at this tip. Now you do have a bit of an arc going in one way, so it's possible that your arc could be doing this and then coming down into the hand. That's one thing you could do. Or another way is if you wanted to swish it out to the side and have it down. But the point is it's going to end up into your hand following some kind of arc, and just to make sure that, now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that maybe that would work like that. Experiment yourself, but I think that seems to be the one that's missing there. So in this case, your bat would actually end up coming out of the screen a little bit. So your hand would either be fully extending out like that, or even twisting, but still having the bat up that way instead. So it comes around, twists on that axis, and then comes down that way. So you've got most of the arc on the end of your end of the bat. Sorry, it's my stove timer going off. And this one you'll probably end up having some kind of little figure of 8 around the wrist. So anyway, just a couple of things for you to think about. I think it looks great, and I think if you can maybe work a little bit on the way that the bat's working, I think it can be a really great shot. So hopefully this has been some help to you. If it has, maybe you could pop over to my workspace and give me some of your feedback, and I'd appreciate that. Nice to meet you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.